Oh man, I've got to show you this. Hello, welcome to the bug out. It's taste testing time. We've got some new freeze-dried foods on here, and yeah, we're going to try one. I don't know what one yet because there's lots of choices you can see. Very quickly, the black bags, they contain 1,000 calories, okay, in one of these. Insane. The orange ones, they got 800 calories in, alright. So very quickly, we're comparing the beef hot pot and the steak, vegetables and dumplings with the British MRE ration pack. Okay, so basically you're going to get one of these. It weighs in 143 grams and it gives you 800 calories. Alright, you get the similar with the British MRE. They weigh 300 grams, okay, but you only get 372 calories in one of them pouches. Okay, so basically you're going to need 2 MRE pouches the same as this calorie wise. Okay, absolutely insane. And obviously it's going to be what, 600 grams in weight for them 2 pouches versus 143 grams of these. Alright, doing a bit of research before we come on air today, and freeze-dried foods are definitely the way forward, and we're going to go into more details as we go through this list. Okay, but for now there's an obvious difference. Alright, so one way that I've come up with how to extend these, I think they run to 2027. Okay, so we've got 5 years from now. 2022 is the current year, just in case anything happens on YouTube. And one thing I realised is these actually have oxygen absorbers inside. So what you do, you open the top, it's sealed. So you open the seal, you take the oxygen absorber out, okay, boiling water goes in, stir it around, seal it up, 5 minutes, done. Very, very simple, straightforward. But if you wanted these to last a lot longer, and I do mean a lot longer, what I advise you do is you get a pair of scissors, you cut neatly along the top, you open it up, and you get some sort of straw, a drinking straw. Now it's only got to be probably 1 inch or 2 inches long. Okay, you put that inside and you seal up around it. Okay, so the tube is literally halfway between that snap seal there. Okay, half in and half out, probably in the middle is what I would do. You then, obviously it's got its oxygen absorber still inside. What you do is you vacuum seal this as you would anything else. Most of us have got vacuum sealers now. Okay, it's a great way of getting all of the air out of your food and making it last a hell of a lot longer. So if you was to do it in this method that I recommend, that is going to extend another 25 years on top just by doing that tiny little hack. Alright, vacuum seal these, you get all of the air outside, the oxygen absorbers in there, and it's sealed. Okay, you stick that in a cool dark place, 20, 30 years, whatever you want to do, it'll be absolutely fine. It's a great way. Can you imagine how much food's going to cost in 10, 20, 30 years time? We'll go through that very shortly as well. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it boiling right now, and we just wait. All we got to do is just wait for the water to boil. Incidentally, we sell the stove and these pots on the website. Okay, so links will be below all of this stuff that you see here, because people always ask. Also, we got these UCO Sporks, they're pretty awesome. That's it. It's literally just over a minute that took. And look, just like that. Well, let me move this out of the way and we'll crack on. Well, I'll be honest, that didn't take long to boil at all. Let's go for this one. Asian noodles with chicken and mixed vegetables. Sounds good. Now that I like. The amount of times you tear something that's open and it goes all over the place, that actually worked like a charm. Oh my god, look at that. Right, rule number 1, oxygen absorber. You have to remove it first. Do not forget. You leave that in there, you're in big trouble. Always take it out, okay? Oh man, I've got to show you this. Wow. That sure looks good in there. Okay, so now all we've got to do is pour our boiling water in there. I reckon about that much. It's asking for 300 millilitres. These things hold a whole litre, believe it or not. So we're going to give that a good stir. Like I say in all my videos when I do this, you always got to make sure that you stir it well. Okay. I remember years ago trying a mountain house bun, I think it was. I done it real quick, I didn't stir it, and halfway through eating, oh my days, there's powder in there. It's not pretty, it's not good, and it's not clever. Right, so, damn, that's hot. Let's seal her up. Alright, that is in there, and we're just going to let that do its thing for a couple of minutes while we talk over some of the things that I've been writing down here. They're really important stuff here. So, good things about these, right, is really sat down and had a good think about this, okay, because food is obviously an issue, and it's going to be a major issue over the coming months, okay. It's seriously going to get bad out there. A lot of people are saying it, so it's just a matter of time, and we're going to start seeing big changes with food, not just UK but globally, okay. When you hear globally, it's a major issue, trust me. So bug out vehicle transportation, obviously, just say for argument's sake, you've got a family, you've got a vehicle already with all your kit in it, you've got 3 months worth of food in that vehicle, and you're going to drive X amount of miles to get to a safer place and stay there for a period of time, maybe move on, whatever it is, okay. It's going to cost a lot less with fuel to transport 3 months worth of this than it would be if it was like tins and all the rest of it, okay. So it's going to save you wear and tear on your tyres, it's going to save you a lot of money and fuel, okay, which is all very, very important. Like I said, when you work out the calories and the weight from the British MREs, it's a no-brainer really, okay. So you're getting, you're spending the same amount of money, you're getting more calories, and it's less weight. Makes sense. So that absolutely is a wicked factor to look into. Now, Lee done some calculations recently. He went through some old invoices going back a few years. Now, what he found was the tins of food, very similar to this, the freeze-dried stuff. Now that has gone up like you wouldn't believe. This is exactly 2 years. So August 2020 to August 2022, we've worked it out. The price has gone up 56% on exactly the same tin of food. Okay. So it was £38 for 1 tin, now there's £60 a tin, okay? And these are recommended retail prices. If you try to sell these items below the recommended retail price, the supplier will no longer supply you to sell that product. So you're really tied. The minimum you can sell them tins for now is £60. And Lee's just done a little poll on his YouTube account on the Bug Out Shop, and we're waiting to see the results, whether people are going to be interested in still in buying them tins now at £60. If it's an overwhelming majority, which personally I suspect it will be, you won't be getting those tins in no more, because there won't be any call for it, because people just simply won't be able to afford it, okay? So well done to all those of you who woke up and listened to all this sort of stuff a few years ago. You bought it way back then, you saved a fortune already. Straight away, by making that decision, you saved 56%. Okay? I really feel sorry for the guys who are just waking up and finding out all this stuff now, because already, you know, they're at a loss at 56% straight away. Okay? So yeah, it's very, very crazy. Another good thing that I thought about these is caches or caches. So if you're moving from an urban environment and you go out towards a safe place in the countryside, okay, where there's less injured and all the rest of it, the sensible thing would do is to put caches or caches along the route of what you plan to do, okay? So you can walk for a few days of what the food that you've got in your backpack or your burden. When that runs out, if you've worked it out correctly, you're going to arrive at a cache, you dig it up, you open it up, and you get stuff like this, you fill it up your burden again, you cover it back over, and you can carry on for another 3 or 4 days, okay? You can carry 3 or 4 days worth of these, they're a hell of a lot lighter and a lot more calories than you would if you filled your burden up with MREs, okay? The only other option around that is to get a lot fitter so you can do that comfortably, okay? Without injury. It's all relevant, okay? So that's very important to understand. Also, Lee was saying these, because of their size and their value, the value is only going up, as we've just understood, okay? These are excellent barter items. So you start getting these, you start stacking these up, storing them out of the way. People are going to come to you because they're hungry, okay? And you can say, look, you can have one of these after you've done a day's work for me. So if we're out in the countryside or whatever, you can get them to dig drainage ditches, repair the roof, build structures, all sorts of things like this, okay? And then you can pay them, because money's not going to be any importance at that point. You can pay them in food, which they're going to be bloody grateful for. So, loads of good things about these. Like I say, I'm going to go through them now. We're going to keep an eye on the time of how long that's taking. So, another good thing about these, you can store a lot of these in a very small space, okay? They take up a little room. Once you've like folded that down, there's 800 calories in that tiny little pack there. And it lasts for years, like we said, it stores very, very well. Another little thing which I've discovered when I'm doing some research into freeze-dried food, typically, if you freeze-dry your food, it keeps 95% thereabout of all of the nutrients within it, okay? It's a very complicated technical process when you actually freeze-dry the food. So if you've got a good base product to start with, it's going to be even more beneficial. So in my opinion, the best way to do a freeze-dried food thing, if you're doing it yourself, is to grow fresh, healthy, organic food, use companion planting, look into permaculture, don't use any chemicals. As soon as that crop is ready to pick, you literally pick it, prepare it, freeze dry it, and you're going to remain, it's going to keep in so many good nutritional content like you would not believe. The stuff you buy in the supermarket, it's mainly lost nearly all of its nutritional content already, because every second after it gets picked, it's losing that important value. So that's the best way to do it, to get the maximum nutrition. These are excellent. When I looked into these companies, it's insane. They've been going nearly 30 years now. I'm going to get onto that in a sec. So it keeps 95% of the nutrients within there. If you were to just use a normal dehydrator without freeze drying it, it keeps 60%. Okay, so already you're losing 40% of all of its nutritional value if you just use a dehydrator. Okay, don't get me wrong, they've definitely got value. Okay, and I'm going to be getting one myself. So it's all relevant, because not everyone can afford a freeze drying machine. I think the cheapest you can get is about £4,000 or £5,000. An awful lot of money. The dehydrator you could probably get from £50 upwards, depending on what quality that you're after. Right. So another good thing about this, there's basically zero water in there, zero mould, and like I say, if you go to the extra step of vacuum sealing it, no air, no water, no light, means there's going to be very little to no chance of bacterial growth within that pouch. Okay, very, very cool. Right, I'm going to go on to the rest of that in a minute, okay, because I'm really interested in seeing what that food's come out like. I'm hoping it's been 5 minutes. I haven't really timed it, to be honest. So let's have a look, shall we? Oh my god, that's pretty cool. Looks like you just cooked it yourself. Yeah, it's kept all of its structure. But there's loads of chicken in there. Wow. The vegetables look good. Mmm. Wow. I can't believe I've got sandwiches today. That's really tasty. And no, I'm not just saying it. That really is. That's the Asian noodles with chicken and mixed vegetables. 800 calories there. Oh wow. There's a lot of chicken there too. Right. Let's crack on. An example about freeze-dried food, okay? If you was to get apricots, like 100 grams of fresh apricots, okay, so you just got some, you chop them all up and you weighed them, 100 grams, that's going to give you 51 calories, okay? If you got 100 grams worth of freeze-dried apricots, okay, you get 260 calories. That's a fact, okay? That's insane. Now, when I looked into this company, look, we always do, before we order stuff in to sell from the shop, we do some research, we get it in, then when we get chance and we get time, which is quite rare because we're very busy most of the time, we get to try out some of the stuff, okay? Now what we plan to do is, if it's no good, we're just not going to stock it anymore. If it's good, you will see, hopefully, when we get a chance to do videos like this to tell you exactly what we think of it, okay? Now we didn't realise, but these actually supply the police and the military as well. And like I say, they've been doing it for nearly 30 years now. So it's 30 years to really fine tune it and hone it to get it as perfect as you probably could. An excellent company, they've been doing stuff, supplying all around the world. It's been up to Everest, it's been across the Atlantic, it's been to Antarctica. So many testimonial stories. All you need to do is look on their website, look at testimony, and you will see Prince Harry, Ben Fogle, loads of other people actually use and swear by this stuff. So if it's good enough for them, it's definitely good enough for us and probably yourself, okay? Also, a lot of you people want to know what it's like. In my opinion, most of them, not all of them, are clean. And when I say clean, right, you'll see no E numbers. They do vegan options, they do dairy-free options, and they do gluten-free options as well. And most importantly of all, there's no GMOs whatsoever, no genetically modified organisms. There's nothing in any of these products, which is absolutely awesome, because that is a fear of how it's going. You're going to see GM stuff creeping into the UK over time. So this is guaranteed that it's safe, it's sealed, there's no GM nonsense inside, okay? There's no palm oil and there's no additives, okay? So for any of you guys who care about the environment and that sort of stuff, that's pretty much covered too. And last but not least, these are all made in the UK. I don't know about you, but I'm sick and tired of getting stuff imported from China and all the rest of it. Stuff made in your own country, sovereign states, the way forward in my opinion. We've got some fantastic produce here in the UK, and why not use it and store it away for a rainy day, because that rainy day looks like it's rapidly approaching. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to try and eat my way through this, and so you know what, I'll let you know what it actually looks like, because you've seen it dry. It's only fair that you see it hydrated, okay? Let's give it a good stir up. Look at that. There's absolutely loads of quality food in there. Wow, that's awesome. Wow. It's so nice to have something that actually says what it actually does. So yeah, feel free to check out the links below, because you're going to see everything you need to know about all of these, what you see here, including these pots. They're super lightweight aluminium, they hold a whole litre. You've got a cup, and obviously that made that boil in bloody no time. Because it's thin, it's anodised aluminium, it's very, very quick to heat up. And also the stove as well. As I say, feel free to check out the links below. They're all available, they're all in stock right now. And yeah, I thought it was a very good idea to bring this to your attention, because like I said at the foot of the video, food is very important, and it's become more important than a lot of people actually realise, from what I've been hearing, okay? So do yourself a big fat favour and have a look at the links below and consider what would be good for you, okay? Because you try buying some food, especially with meat in it, 20, 30 years from now, you probably won't be able to get it. It'll probably be illegal. It'll be very, very expensive if you're lucky enough to find it. So this stuff, you can bury it away, stash it away, okay, and it will last for a hell of a long time. All you've got to do is just add hot water. And let's face it, here in the UK, I can't see us going desert, so I think we're pretty much good to go. So, thanks for watching. Stay funky.